for being overweight as a 16-year-old and by North as well. In September, he would win the club's first Brownlow medal in 36 years by 5 votes from Ross Glendinning and 6 from Lee Matthews.
Brian Wilson of the Melbourne club, the winner of the 1982 Brownlow medal. And I know on your behalf, all the people here at the Southern Cross Hotel tonight and all the many hundreds of thousands of people out there watching this telecast, you'd like me to pass on to Brian your congratulations also.
The antics of Mark Jackson would not be tolerated. He would take his tricks to St Kilda. To the club would come a pair of highly priced champions, Brownlow medalists Peter Moore and Kelvin Templeton.
Wilson's in the front position. Templeton coming. Bailey, I think it might be, who's come across the front of the back. No, it is Templeton. Call play on by the umpire. For what reason, I do not know. Templeton surely took the mark.
Just see that. Well, he certainly was upset then.
In 1984, again glimpses. At one stage, 6 wins in a row mid-season, including an excellent victory over Hawthorn that ended a run of losses stretching back to 1973.
There is sartorial splendour in the form of Ronaldale Barassi with the matching bow tie and pocket handkerchief.
Melbourne's run at the finals would be halted by Essendon in cold and calculating style.
Not a gut, but Wood downed him. Moore and Merritt for the knockout. Knocked out by Moore, picked up that time by Williams. He slewed that one off the side of his boot.
On to Templeton. Is that his first goal for the day? I don't think so. Elshaw is there. Oh, went for the slipper, kicked the Melbourne player right in the hand. And Yates will take the free kick.
Pulled back, kicked off. Oh, there we see Vanderhaar copped a beauty in the face.
Oh, Greg Healy copped a ripper from Donnell.
There's Vanderhaar again. He's dropped that one, but he goes down. Oh, there we see
another charge.
Connolly getting into a bit of trouble as he downs
I think you call it a square off, wouldn't you, Lou?
There they are all pouncing in now. You just try and sort that one out yourself.
Barassi was dapper, but he lost none of that famous snarl. This was the coach at his most belligerent. The victim, Shane Zantuck.
Zantuck and Barassi are having a go. The players are pushing Zantuck away from him. Barassi's white down there in the face, but they had a real go, and I'm not kidding. The players had to push Zantuck away. He's wanting to go back and have a go at him again.
Today, the two protagonists can laugh. Then, it was deadly serious.
Look at you, you pack of weak he said. None of you all looked me in the eye. So, you know, I graduated from Broadmeadows West Tech, see, so that was a pretty high level of education. But I was always smart enough to listen to what he had to say. So I thought, well, at least when he gets to me, the least I can do is look him in the eye. So as he's going along, the bit of spit starting to come out on the moustache and a bit of froth, and I thought, well, here we go. So he gets to me, so I look him, you know, just out of fright. So he says to me, "Don't look at me like that, you smart-ass little," you know. So I said, well, you've just had a go at all the boys here for not looking at you. I'm looking at you and you're having a go at me. I said, you're nothing but a big sook.
This is new.
There had been other moments. This one, a standout.
Hello? Healy off, Ellingworth on. Bloody weak as piss. I mean, don't look at me like that. How many kicks have you got? That's the answer to everything. Possessions. You give me possessions and I'll shut up.
It was unbelievable that day, but I just looked at the film clip before and looked at when Shane was involved in that, and I did notice myself come in, and I didn't look at Barassi. I looked the other way, and I thought, oh, well, that must have been the reason when he said, look me in the eye, and I thought, well, I'll get Shane out of here and look after him and bugger Barassi.
There would be some consolation for a season that promised so much and yet failed to deliver. Peter Moore would win his second Brownlow medal, emulating Ian Stewart, the only other player to have won at 2 clubs.
In 1984, Melbourne's Peter Moore. On behalf of the football fraternity, Peter, well done, congratulations, a very, very worthy winner.
Naturally enough, and while I got the opportunity, I'd like to thank a few people, because the Melbourne Football Club bought me from Collingwood when I was as low as probably anyone could be as a footballer, and they showed tremendous faith in me, and my first year with them wasn't all that it should have been and all that I expected and all that they expected, but they stuck with me and they supported me and encouraged me all the way, and it was fantastic. And there's a group of boys sitting up the back here, not only my teammates, but they're my mates as well, and they play for Melbourne, and the way that they accepted me into the club and you know, really encouraged me to get back into top form, and they're just fantastic.
In 1985, Melbourne would sign a 20-year lease and make the Junction Oval its training base. For Barassi, this would be his last hurrah.
His professionalism on the football field, I think what he did, he planted a lot of seeds for the club to grow. And whilst we didn't have the success in the era that he was there, he put those seeds there for future coaching, and it gave all the players that were under him at the time a stepping stone to the level of success that we had in the year 87 onwards, really. And I put that down to Barassi and what he did in his 5 years at Melbourne.
There would be no miracles under Ron Barassi, but his coaching days did leave one legacy. The man who captained the Galahs to Ireland a quarter of a century earlier returned and plucked a rare prize. The vision and foresight would reap rich rewards in the decade ahead. In the mid-80s, Melbourne had begun bringing youngsters out from Ireland. Scottish-born Sean White would play the first of his 150 games in 1985.
Kicks in towards Sean White. Members side, White, good strong mark.
But it was the man who became known as Dublin Jim who would become the cult figure. John Northey had been appointed coach, took one look at Jim Stynes and took immediate action.
For someone to come over from Ireland to play with a club that was losing every week, it wasn't a lot of fun. But I thought I was about to get my big break, and Super called me into the match committee room and told me that I was getting a sack.
Garry Lyon would play over 200 games and captain the club in 119 of them. The Rookie of the Year in 1986 made an instant impact in his debut against Richmond.
There's a chance. Garry Lyon into the open goal. He stabs. What's happened? I think he's kicked it.
It was a really hot day, I remember. It was about 30-odd degrees. I played on the half-back flank, a very quick, mobile half-back flanker, and played on Michael Pickering and got caned. And then late in the game, I went forward and kicked a couple of goals in the last 5 minutes, and we won by about 10 points.
86 was a very, very hard year, I must say. When I took over coaching, I didn't expect to finish where we did, which was well down the bottom. And you take over a club and believe that you know, you have all the wherewithals to get something out of the players. And I must say that first year I got absolutely nothing.
From 11th in 86, Melbourne in 1987 produced one of the great years in the club's history. In April, just 3 days after losing in Brisbane, and with a dozen top players injured, Melbourne faced Essendon for the National Panasonic Cup.
87 came along, and that night premiership, I mean, it was just one of the most magnificent things that I've ever been involved with.
Wilson out wide to Giles. He's got a good run. Danaher tackles him. Giles to the ground. Back it comes. A left foot snap. Bailey. And it's through. It's Brett Bailey. He's kicked one sensational goal, and that's another one. And the stand has erupted. The Demons have taken the lead.
25 and a half minutes. We better be precise, Douglas, because the seconds count now. The Dons through Clark. There's the siren.
Acting captain Danny Hughes accepted Melbourne's first trophy since the 1971 night premiership. Alongside him, the injured Robbie Flower.